In this video, we're going to find the area of compound shapes. What that means is we're going to look at shapes that have two or more shapes combined together, and we're going to find the area of them and add them together. So first thing we need to do is decide what shapes we see. So here I see two shapes. I see a rectangle and I see half a circle. Unlike L shapes, there's generally going to be only one way to split these shapes. This is the only way that I see. So I see a rectangle and half a circle. And I'm going to label them as A and B so that I know what I'm working with when. So I'm going to start with shape A. And maybe I'll write A, semicolon, so that I don't get my areas confused. So shape A, all right, is a rectangle. So I know that the formula is A equals length times width. And if you want to label them 1 or 2, that might be easier. Maybe I'll do that instead, just so that we don't get confused with area. So this is shape 1, this is shape 2. So shape 1, area equals length times width. So I need to write A equals 12 times 8, or 8 times 12. So A equals 96 feet squared. All right, and that is shape 1. We are done with shape 1, and I'm just going to write that in here for myself. You can too if you want, but that's just because I'm going to erase my work. So I have room for the circle. All right, so now we have a circle. However, if you can see it, it's half a circle. So for shape 2, we need to find the area of half a circle, which means we need to write A equals 1/2 pi r squared. So we're still writing the area of a circle, but this time we're putting a half in the front because it's half a circle. So in order to rewrite the area, we need to find the radius. However, right now we only know what the diameter is, and that's 8 feet. And I know that because this is a rectangle, so therefore the lengths are going to be the same. So the bottom is going to be the same as the top of this rectangle, which is 8. So now I need to find what the radius is. And we know we take the diameter and divide it by 2. So the radius is going to be 4, because half of 8 is 4. So I'm going to write A equals 1/2 pi 4 squared. And I'm going to keep going. A equals 1/2 pi times 16. If I want to write this in terms of pi, then what I need to do is just take these two numbers, 1/2 and 16, and I need to do 16 divided by 2, because that's the same as multiplying by a half. So A equals 8 pi. However, because this is two shapes combined and the first shape doesn't have pi in it, I need to multiply my number out and to get the not as pretty number. So 8 pi is going to be 25.13. The number after the 3 is a 2, and that's 4 or less, so we're going to just let it rest. So now I have my two areas, and because it's a compound shape and it's all combined together, all I need to do as my last step is add the two areas together. So I'm going to take 96 plus 25.13, and I'm going to get 121.13. And I'm going to erase this so that I have room to write that. So my final area, because I've added the two together, so I did 96 plus 1 plus 25.13. So my area, full area, is 121.13 feet squared. That is my final answer. Alright, if I look at this next shape, again, we just have to split it up. So when I look at this, I see a rectangle and a triangle. Again, not really any other shape I could see except a rectangle and a triangle. So I'm going to label the rectangle as 1, the triangle as 2. So again, if I start with shape 1, that's a 1. Pretend that's 1. My area is going to be length times width. So my area is going to be, length is 13, width is 8. So 13 times 8. So A equals 13 times 8, 104 inches squared. So again, for my benefit, I'm going to label. If you want to label yours, that's fine. But again, I'm going to erase so that I have room to work. So now we're going to say, we're going to work with shape 2, which is a triangle. So we need to write A equals 1/2 base times height. So let's label. So if we look at our triangle here, we know again that the base is going to be 8 because it corresponds to the width of our triangle, of our rectangle. Alright, now we need to find the height. So we know the height of the entire shape is 19 inches, but what we need to find is the height of this triangle. So we need to find from here to here, from the dotted line to up here. So if we know that the length of our rectangle is 13 and the length of our entire shape is 19, then we just subtract the two, 19 minus 13, and we get the height of our triangle to be 6. Right, kind of just like the missing side video that you've watched. So we're going to write A equals 1/2 base, which is 8, and height, which is 6. So A equals 1/2. 8 times 6 is 48. So A equals 48 divided by 2, which is 24. So now I have my two shapes and their areas. So the last thing I need to do is just combine them because they're combined into one shape. So I need to take the full area is going to be 104 plus 24, which is going to give me the area equals 128 inches squared. And that is my final answer. Alright, you are ready to finish the worksheet. What I would do is I would go through and split up all of your shapes and label what shapes you are working with so that it makes it easier for you as you go through the worksheet. You can go back and rewatch as much as you need to. When you're done, check your answers. Good luck.